Welcome to my ALP presentation. Because of my interests in foreign language and literature, I decided to ask the essential question: can young adult literature in translation, when presented along with cultural context, give students ideas concerning culture and what it means to be a teenager in the global context? In order to find out, I enlisted the help of some students from Michelle's class at the Franklin Academy, and had them follow 5 steps. The first step was to watch a brief video lecture about the culture surrounding the stories, which you will be watching later. The second step was for the students to read the stories On the Road at 18 by Yu Hua and The Women's Swimming Pool by Hanan al-Shaikh. The third step was to reflect on the readings of these stories. The fourth step was to synthesize their thoughts. And finally, the fifth step was a reflection on the project as a whole. This is the website where the students found the information they needed for the project. There were directions, there was the video lecture, the stories they could download and read, and finally, the voice thread where they would reflect upon their readings. Let's watch the video lecture. This is a brief lecture on the stories that you'll be reading. The first is On the Road at 18 by Chinese author Yu Hua. The story deals with a road, a truck, some apples, and some bikes. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to tell you about China. China is possibly one of the world's oldest civilizations. China has been under the control of the Communist Party since the 1950s and has suffered many setbacks, including the Cultural Revolution of the 60s and 70s. However, today, China has grown to become one of the world's most economically powerful nations. The second story you will be reading is The Women's Swimming Pool by Hanan al-Shaikh. Set in Lebanon, the story focuses on a girl from the dry south who, along with her grandmother, travels to the city of Beirut on a bus so that she may see the sea and find a women's swimming pool. However, what she finds is actually culture shock. Lebanon, where the story is set, has been the site of much internal strife since it gained its independence from France in the early 1940s. Thank you for watching this very brief lecture. Please begin reading your first story and posting to the voice thread. I hope you all enjoyed this experience, and feel free to email me with any questions. Thank you! Here is just some of what the students thought about the readings and the project as a whole. Thanks to the students' comments, I started to come to conclusions about my question. And even though I didn't get the answer I was looking for, I did get some answers. And I think that this quote from a student really sums it up. Although we are not able to directly relate, we are in fact able to learn more about these cultures. Learning more will help us to be more understanding of other cultures and customs. I think that this really shows that even though they can't relate as well to foreign literature as they would like, they still learn how to live with the literature.